Hello and welcome to ExpoTalks episode 7. My name is Matt, and today with me, my colleague Irina. And our guests today are Vinnu Deshetty, CEO and founder of Tech Hub, and also Ross Sedenta, CEO of ExpoFP. Welcome, guys.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to this.
My pleasure.
So today we would like to speak about enhancing event management efficiency with tech solutions. And my first question will be to you, Vinnu. So what are the biggest challenges event organizers face today that your technology aims to solve? And how do your solutions are basically two questions. How do your solutions specifically address these challenges?
Absolutely. Well, I've been doing meetings for almost 30 years now. And one of my biggest challenges, and I know that planners deal with this because they're dealing with 5 to 10 different event technologies. And with that, they're doing data entry each time. And a lot of times it's very siloed. So they're having to do double data entry. That takes time and patience. And even outside of that, even if the data is unique to each one, connecting those data points is really difficult. So what our product does with Event Tech Hub, we're able to do these great integrations with all these amazing event tech that's out there, bring all of that data in-house and have it go in the right places for what I call, it's basically a conference engagement site, but all those data points go in the right places so that you're not doing double data entry and you're getting greater analytics and just better insights. So you know what's happening, you're saving time on the data entry, and you've just got a more streamlined flow for not only the organizer, but also for the attendees.
Speaking about, event management softwares, how does your platform integrate those platforms? And examples, if you could please provide us with examples of the most common integrations that your clients usually do.
So Vinnu was just mentioning that we just returned from Event Connect in Detroit, and the common theme from people was like, we like Event. One of the reasons we like it because it's like all in one platform. So it just gives you immediately gives you everything in under one umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
For us as a small company, it's kind of a challenge because we are not Event, and so I wish we were, but we are small. So how do we work with bigger guys, with larger companies? How do we provide the same service to clients or better? Because our product, we believe, is much superior than any of the integrated solutions on the market offer. So the challenge is simple. Just hide the complexities from the organizer. As Vinnu mentioned, it's nightmare when you need to synchronize all of the different systems. When you're organizer, you're already busy with making sure that people collaborate. The last thing you want to do is to try to figure out how one technology integrates with another. So the good integration and the goal for us, and hopefully something that we're already doing successfully, is that we are hiding all of these integration complexities from the user. So for example, we have tons of events with Swapcard, with Grip, with Expo platform. So what happens there, the exhibitor profile is being created on those platforms. And of course, we do not want organizers to repeat this process on ExpoFP, and they don't. They just don't care. If new organizer appears somewhere on one of these platforms, it's automatically synchronized to the floor plan. So they do appear on the floor plan. The same with schedulers. If you have a scheduler somewhere, let's say like Northwest Event Show, where we had integration with Session Board, and this is just integration that is not done for one event. It just, once we integrate it across all of the events. So there's a scheduler in Session Board, and this scheduler appears on our floor plan. Absolutely nothing to do for organizer. All of this happens automatically. All of this happens behind the scene. So how is it any different from one solution gets all? It's the same solution, where you just working with the best products in the event tech, and they are working seamlessly together behind the scenes. So organizer could focus on tasks that no technology can replace, like, I don't know, interacting with people, getting them to come to your event.
I have actually a question to you, Vinnu, about some features that, like some exact features that help to save organizers time on event management processes. Could you please tell about this more? You mentioned it already a little bit, but I would like to go a little bit deeper into the details.
Or, and it's really the feature that is probably the most valuable for a meeting organizer is the integrations that we do. And that integration is done in a couple of different ways. We've got some integrations that you just simply just put in the client token, user ID, login, and the information just magically comes into our system. There's some integrations that require a little bit more work, that require two-way communication. So perhaps we're collecting the information and then pushing the information out. That definitely is something that, in terms of like collecting information, organizing it in a way that it can be easily looked at online, and then also managed on the back end. That's a huge value. I know with our integration with ExpoFP, we can do it in both ways. I think the optimal way to do it is actually start with ExpoFP, use that as the source of truth where you're collecting all that information. And then we actually bring that information back into our system so that the attendee, the exhibitor can also see the information within our platform. They no longer then have to go back into ExpoFP unless they need to make changes. But then it just makes it for a very clean, just an attendee experience, organizer experience.
Yeah, that sounds great, and really so easy. You just need to do 1, 2, 3 maximum, or just like 1, 2 steps, so like ID.
Each integration is different. So what my team is really great at doing is sitting down with the client. So we're not just going to give you the dashboard and say, go and do it yourself, because that's it can be intimidating. It can be a lot, especially if you don't do it every day. So we actually set up what we call a discovery call. We figure out what is it that they're trying to achieve, what products, event technology that they're using. And sometimes some event technology doesn't make sense to integrate. It really is a process of figuring out what is their process, what are they trying to achieve? And then we on the back end, our team actually takes care of all of the technical issues. Yes, we'll have questions along the way, so it's not completely hands-off, but we do, from a technical aspect, take all of that off of their plate. Just like Ross was saying, we don't want our meeting organizers to become heavy duty techies, right? They just don't need to get into coding and all of that. That's for us to do.
Ross, we were just mentioning that we want to save organizers time and help them to focus on what matters for them, some important tasks that computers can't really perform. So how does your platform helps them to streamline and automation for such repetitive tasks and help them to save time in such repetitive tasks?
Yes, thank you, Matt. So ExpoFP is actually you can look at it at like 90% maps and 10% event management, exhibitor management in particular. So as far as maps go, as we mentioned already and keep mentioning, it's once you set it and forget it. Basically, you do not, you give us a map as DWG file, is our AutoCAD file. We build the map and we update this map as many times as it's necessary. And from an organizer point of view, once they've given us this file, all of the changes on the floor plan happen automatically, because if they update their profile in one of our biggest partners, Grip, Swapcard, and Expo platform, information automatically populates on the floor plan. So compare it to PDF floor plan, where you probably need to change floor plan every time something changes, somebody moves, a new exhibitor getting added, every time you need to go and edit it. It's a waste of time. With our solution, you do not really need to spend this time. In addition to that, if you're using our floor plan, if you're using exhibitor management features of our floor plan, you can use reserve or buy buttons. So when new exhibitor comes to the floor plan, they see immediately what booths are reserved, what booths are available. They select the booths they want. They can go for reservation process, completely automated. It's like if your event is such that it allows exhibitors, you allow exhibitors to reserve booths themselves, then the process is literally just add the one checkbox, allow reservations, and that's it. Exhibitors will do everything themselves. They will choose the booth, they will reserve that booth. After that, they will create their own profiles. They fill out all of information. They will be able to update this information. So the basic exhibitor management features are all there. Actually, we also can integrate with payment provider. So a payment gateway. So like Authorize, PayPal, Stripe, you just plug in your keys for your account, and then you can collect down payments. You can collect payments for add-ons, whatever you want. We're PCI compliant, and this means we are not touching credit card. We are not taking any percentage on top of it. We're just collecting money for organizers. And it's literally just one checkbox to enable this feature, and just enter the key for specific payment platform that you're using. What else? We can generate invoices and automatically send them. One last thing, we can send mass emails. You want to announce to your exhibitors something, to a bunch of exhibitors, or to specific exhibitors, just select them, send email. We have templates, custom emails. So all of the core functionality of exhibitor management, that's something that's often missed with the floor plans, but it's actually like bread and butter. It's very tightly integrated and related processes, and this saves tons of times to organizers.
And Vinnu, how does your platform helps in such repetitive tasks?
Oh, absolutely. So the way our database is built on the back end is to create relationships between data points. So if you have if you've got a list of sessions that you have, and you've got speakers attached to it, then you've got a beautiful schedule that shows this, the sessions, but then it also connects this to the speaker directory. So you're not, if you have a CMS system, a content management system, like a WordPress or some other, or Wix or any other type of website that you're actually manually punching in information, you would have to go in, put in all of your session information and your speakers, but then you would have to create another page for your attendee directory. We have things like that. It's similar also with exhibitors, with sponsors, with a call for papers, same thing. Once you put in the data again goes to all the right places on the website, so that you don't have to think about, oh, well, I forgot to change that here and I have to make an edit. So I have to do that in multiple places. Like, to keep track of changes is a nightmare in itself, right? So here within Event Tech Hub, what you do is you make the change once in one place, and it makes it seamlessly across the board. So right there, I can just think of hours of just for making a change to one session, hours of time that I saved.
Vinnu, do you have something in your system that allows you to manage to handle real-time updates? What I'm talking about, for example, we are already at the event. And at the conference, we recently received information that one speaker in a conference, he cannot take part. And for example, it just like, the first thing that came to my mind, is there any opportunity to show it immediately in the schedule when you're already on the show, or all the things should be done like beforehand, before the event? And once we are here at the trade show or during the conference, we cannot actually change anything.
And that's a great example, Irina, because that happens a lot where you don't have speakers show up, or even exhibitors. Sometimes something happens to an exhibitor booth, and what do, right? You want the exhibitor to be put in the best face forward as well, right? So in our system, you have what we call mission control. It's the back end, where the organizer goes in there, makes a quick change, publishes it, it's instantly updated.
Let me add something. So it's actually, I don't know an event where there's no last second changes. So there's always somebody missing the flight, somebody's not coming, like scheduler changes. exhibitor booths gets empty. So for this, we actually, when we're creating our floor plans, our team creates floor plans, but then we give access to organizers themselves to make last minute or like small changes. So organizers are often in the last minute or that day of the show, just go to the floor plan designer and just rearrange whatever they need to be rearranged. They like move exhibitors, delete booths, just do some super basic stuff that is we teaching them how to do. It's usually takes literally like 2 minutes to just show how it's done. It's that obvious, and this immediate access without any need to contact our support to just do interaction allows them gives them flexibility that actually our event industry requires.
And
Yeah.
also like making additions, right? Additions to floor plans or to sessions, to be able to do that. But also within Event Tech Hub, what you can also do is not only make those changes, but send out a push notification to everyone saying, you know, hey, our speaker, and I actually was, while we were in Detroit, I was reminiscing with another colleague about how we did an event and our keynote speaker got delayed on a flight. And so we had to move his keynote from one day to another. And how were we able to communicate that out to people? It was, you know, there's obviously things that you want to do on site, but through technology, it makes it so much easier to be able to just literally push that out to everyone.
All right, so Vinnu, what advice to event organizers you would give to event organizers to manage their registration more effectively?
You know, there's a lot of conversation, especially now especially on LinkedIn, about registration. And, you know, is it a short form and just very transactional, or is it, you know, but how do you collect all the information that you need from that individual to be able to help get better data analytics or even plan for their attendance? And the only answer really is there is no one size fits all. However, it is important for organizers to sit and think about whether they've been doing the same form for ages, is to think about, what do I need? What is the absolute necessary information that I need in order for them to do the transaction? Because not only do our events change and our people change, but outside of the event world, our attendees are being influenced by other technology like Amazon and, you know, other retail applications, right? And they make it so easy to just click a button and buy something. And with that mindset, we've got to think about, that's how our attendees are registering. You know, they've only got a short attention span to complete that registration. So really think about, what is the critical questions that I need answered today? What could I get later and how? There are different ways, especially with technology, to be able to do that. I am a big believer that if you've already got the data, don't ask for it again. One question is, are you a first-time attendee? Based on the data that you have already got in-house, you should already know whether they're a first attendee or not. So just to make sure that your data isn't fudged by an error of data entry on the attendee part, don't ask that question. That's my only one recommendation that I would say definitely don't do. But otherwise, definitely just kind of to take a step back and really think about what is necessary.
And my last question is also for you, Vinnu, about analytics. What analytics can you provide, if you can you provide with your clients, and how this analytics help them to make some decisions?
Yeah, so we do it in 3 different ways. If a client's only using our Tech Hub platform, we're bringing all that data in. So they get this beautiful dashboard of what I call flat analytics. How many people attended? How many didn't show up? What was the dwell time? Those kind of things. Very helpful information. If they want help in getting the analytics, kind of making the intersection of some point, in terms of like, let's say you want to know how many people from the Northeast region attended the keynote session, or attended or visited an exhibitor page. You can pull that information, but we also integrate with other analytical tools like Bear Analytics, where we then push all that information into an organized way into an analytical tool where then they can like customize what reports they want. Now, our third way of doing it, we actually have a Salesforce registration platform. Salesforce is a very powerful tool, and that there, we can take all of the engagement that's happened on Tech Hub, put it into Salesforce, and then run all sorts of magical reports that a customer would want. And it could go anywhere from your basic reports of how many people from a certain demographic, or even who didn't attend the events, which I think for a lot of organizations, that's important as well. Why didn't they come? Who didn't come? And delving into some of those details as well.
Do you ask the event organizers what other data they need, or how do you decide what data to show them? I mean, there are some obvious things, for example, how many people have attended or whatever, but how do you, for example,
Well, Tech Hub gives you everything. So you can choose from whatever you want to. We made that purposely because everyone has a different level of data acceptance that they want, like in terms of what they want to review and look at. When they want more custom reports in Salesforce, that's a much more deeper involved question. And it's not what do you want in a report, is what is it that you're accomplishing? What are your business or organizational goals and your objectives, and trying to fulfill it that way? So it's more about the insights than it is about data points.
Thank you so much, Vinnu. Thank you so much, Ross, for taking part in this wonderful conversation. We are available on YouTube and on Spotify, and I hope that everybody who watched this or listened to it enjoyed it. And bye-bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Bye.